Magic Emperor Chapter 857. In the previous episode, after Zhuo Fan launched a direct assault on the demon-scheming sect's main hall, Cai Wuyu and Elder Stone were absolutely terrified by his overwhelming power. However, Zhuo Fan didn't wipe them out immediately, choosing instead to toy with Cai Wuyu like it was all just a game. At this point, Cai Wuyu was so scared that his eyelids were twitching uncontrollably, and his legs started to give way. Seeing that, Elder Stone also panicked, backing away and huddling close to Cai Wuyu with a look of pure horror, as he stared at Zhuo Fan. He couldn't believe that Zhuo Fan possessed such insane strength that a single punch was enough to send Cai Wuyu flying back. Zhuo Fan didn't even bother stopping them, simply watching with a mocking gaze, as he said calmly, "I missed that last punch on purpose because I wanted to spare your life. To Wuyu, aren't you the one who's always had a bone to pick with me? You've always wondered why Elder Yuan chose me as the sect leader, haven't you? Now, I'm going to let reality prove that the gap between us is massive. With me around, a guy like you has zero business being sect leader. You aren't even in my league." Zhuo Fan. Ew. Cai Wuyu trembled violently at Zhuo Fan's defiant face, grinding his teeth so hard they actually started to bleed. The biggest regret of his life was his master acknowledging someone else, and casting him aside. He had always been desperate to prove he was stronger than Zhuo Fan just to show his master that he had made a mistake. However, facing Zhuo Fan's provocation, he didn't even have the guts to fight back anymore. After that last attack, he realized Zhuo Fan's power had far exceeded anything he could possibly comprehend. Terrified, Elder Stone glanced at Cai Wuyu before looking for a way to bolt, muttering, "Sect leader, this guy's too strong. I'm going for reinforcements, just try to hang in there." After saying that, Elder Stone shivered his way to the door and quickly made his escape. During all this, Cai Wuyu stayed silent, staring at Zhuo Fan with a deeply conflicted heart. He was stuck in a tough spot, torn between standing his ground or running for his life. Even though he wanted to fight to prove himself, his survival instinct was screaming at him to leave immediately, leaving him paralyzed with indecision. Zhuo Fan didn't care about Elder Stone running off. He just silently observed Cai Wuyu. After a moment, he spoke up indifferently, "We were both Elder Yuan's disciples, and he's definitely watching us from above. So today we were going to have a fair fight to see if Master's choice was right or wrong. If you win, it proves you are worthy, but if I win, I'll take out a traitor like you on behalf of our sect." Cai Wuyu clenched his fists, trembling, and looked at Zhuo Fan with determination as he shouted angrily, "Master, watch closely, I'll prove I'm the best. Zhuo Fan, you'll never surpass me. Then let our strength do the talking." Zhuo Fan smiled and looked up at the sky with a gentle gaze. "Elder Yuan, this battle is a fair match between disciples, and for your honor as well. You've always been fair, so please watch over us from above." Cai Wuyu kept shaking, clenching his fists, and looking at Zhuo Fan with pure hatred. His eyes burned with fighting spirit as he roared in rage, "Master, witness this. I'll prove I'm the one who truly deserves this. As for you, Zhuo Fan, you'll never be on my level in this lifetime." Meanwhile, Zhuo Fan stood calmly, watching his opponent's moves without flinching. In fact, his gaze was completely blank, as if his opponent didn't even exist. It was a clear sign of the utter contempt he had for Cai Wuyu. To Zhuo Fan, Cai Wuyu was just a mediocre nobody not worth worrying about. This dismissive attitude only made Cai Wuyu more furious, sending him into a blind rage. He let out a deafening roar, and quickly finished his final hand seal. Immediately after, a loud bang shook the entire space. Following a sharp wind capable of crushing metal, 3 dragon-like surges of power lunged straight at Zhuo Fan. They attacked violently, looking to demolish anything in their path. That was the Triple Flood Dragon Severing Strike, a pseudo-earth-grade move. Boom! The 3 Flood Dragon head slammed into Zhuo Fan while he just stood there without resisting. A massive energy explosion occurred, completely leveling the sect leader's main hall. Zhuo Fan's silhouette was quickly swallowed by the violent energy storm. This storm was so sharp it ground bricks and stones into ash in the blink of an eye. It seemed like anything caught in the eye of the storm would be utterly shredded. Seeing that, Cai Wuyu gasped for air and laughed triumphantly. "Zhuo Fan, even a soul harmonization expert would struggle to survive this pseudo-earth-grade attack of mine. You were too arrogant not to fight back, and that was basically a suicide mission. A delusional power tripper like you has no business leading this sect." However, before he could finish his sentence, a dull thud echoed, shifting the atmosphere. The energy storm abruptly stopped and then vanished into thin air. In the center of the explosion, Zhuo Fan stood firm, casually lowering his hand like he'd just finished a simple task. You think this mediocre move could actually trouble me? Don't forget that my body is incredibly tough, it's not something your weak attacks can scratch. He gently brushed the dust off his shoulder. Even though his clothes were a bit torn from the blast, Zhuo Fan revealed powerful muscles without a single scratch. On the contrary, his skin radiated powerful golden sparks. Clearly, he hadn't used any origin power to protect himself, or his clothes wouldn't have been torn. This was a massive slap in the face for Xia Wuyu, as Zhuo Fan had used his bare body to tank the strongest move of a 9th-layer ethereal stage expert. This was an absurdity that probably no one on this continent had ever seen. You damn monster. Xia Wuyu felt utterly frustrated and desperate. When his strongest move failed, he realized he couldn't win with standard martial arts. So, he decided to resort to a soul battle. Xia Wuyu focused intensely, and released his entire soul. A massive flood dragon radiating a gloomy light appeared and roared fiercely. Flood Dragon Claw. The flood dragon lunged forward with razor-sharp claws aimed right at Zhuo Fan's chest. Zhuo Fan, even if we both have celestial dragon souls, yours is way too young compared to my flood dragon soul. Bang. A loud explosion cut Xia Wuyu off mid-sentence. His flood dragon was sent flying before it could even touch Zhuo Fan. Xia Wuyu took a heavy hit, and immediately coughed up a mouthful of blood. Looking back, he was horrified to see a crimson dragon claw radiating immense pressure right in front of Zhuo Fan. Zhuo Fan mocked him, saying that soul power doesn't depend on how long you've been training. He claimed his dragon soul could easily overwhelm his opponent without even trying. He emphasized that Xia Wuyu would always be a weakling in front of him. Feeling deeply insulted, Xia Wuyu left his mind. He charged at Zhuo Fan with a glowing red spear in hand. It was an extremely rare grade 10 spiritual weapon. No matter how strong your body is, you can't stop this weapon. Prosh. However, the precious spear shattered instantly before he could even finish speaking. Xia Wuyu was stunned, because he couldn't believe a high-level spiritual weapon could be destroyed so easily. At that moment, he saw Zhuo Fan holding a black sword that radiated a terrifying aura. Zhuo Fan looked at him with a cold, contemptuous gaze. You forgot that I'm a master refiner, so these weapons are just trash to me. Xia Wuyu completely broke down when he realized he had failed miserably. He was inferior to Zhuo Fan in every way, from martial arts and soul power to weapons. All his efforts to prove himself only highlighted the massive gap between them. He couldn't accept this harsh reality, and his body shook with resentment. He painfully wondered why he had failed so bitterly. Zhuo Fan withdrew his sword, and looked at his opponent with a calm gaze, as if looking at a pathetic loser. Zhuo Fan, I swear I'll never lose to you. Xia Wuyu went insane and lunged at Zhuo Fan again. He threw a murderous blow aimed at the back of his opponent's neck. Zhuo Fan muttered that his previous restraint was just to prove that Master's vision wasn't wrong. But no, he needed to punish this traitor.